welcome back to We Ride Motos. I'm Glenn.
And I'm Carrie.
If I sound funny today, I've got a wicked head cold, so I can hardly breathe. So we'll do our best to bring you. And this episode, we are on a cruise.
We're going on a cruise. It's leaving out of Venice, so we're made our way back to Venice.
Didn't we just leave Venice?
Yeah, we did. But like I did say, we did love Venice, so we weren't sad to have another day there.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me down the road. It's where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on.
We spent the night before the cruise in Venice. I grabbed a little hotel just on one of the canals, and it was flooding a little bit this time, so we got to experience that. Nothing major. They didn't have any of the walks out or anything.
I think it's just a high tide kind of flood.
Yeah, it was just kind of lapping at our feet at one of the little cafes. We were also on a weekend, so it was a lot more crowded for sure in the popular areas. We noticed a lot more people, but we had fun. We kind of poked around again. And the next day, I think the cruise didn't leave until later on. We had to make our way back out to the cruise port.
Yeah, so the funny thing is, the cruise, so you're leaving the port of Venice, and we took the MSC cruise line, and I mean, we booked a cheap cruise. And
yeah, I forgot to, I don't know, I usually read reviews. I forgot to actually read the review on this particular boat, so.
You took a page out of Glenn's accommodation schedule.
Yeah, but we like the ports, but the actual boat is definitely an older one.
But to get out of, so Port of Venice, the cruise ships don't go in there anymore. It's all silted in, they can't get there. So you go to the Port of Venice, and then you get all checked in, then you have to get on a bus, and they drive you all the way out and around.
No, it wasn't a bus. It was a water taxi.
That's right.
Yeah.
There was a bus coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in a water taxi over to the industrial port.
Yeah, MSC is a big...
They're one of the biggest
cargo shipping. So we were like in the cargo shipping area where this little boat, little cruise ship was. Yeah, I was a little disappointed when we got on the boat.
Well, it was kind of I mean, first world problems, right? I mean, we've done a couple of nice cruises, and this one was more cafeteria-ish.
Yeah, the eating area was like you were in a cafeteria at a high school or something. But anyways, aside from that, we headed out.
So Brindisi is south of Bari, so just for context, and it's kind of on the heel of Italy.
We arrived...
Well, what is it?
We arrived in
late October.
Yeah, but it was kind of odd because usually you get there in the morning and you have the whole day to explore, but we actually arrived there in the evening. Yeah. So we only had 2 or 3 hours.
And most of the town was already shut down for the day.
There was a Roman column, which is one of their claim to fame, I guess. It was like the end of the road from Rome to Brindisi, and these columns were right at the end. So there was one left. They used to have 2, and they gave one to some other city. There was a monument to the sailors of Italy.
There was nothing too memorable,
from World War
but it was late. I mean, it was weird.
Yeah.
We got in late.
Yeah.
The town was shut down. It's obviously not heavily tourist.
It was odd, yeah, because usually in the European cities in the evening, that's when it comes alive. But it was, But anyways.
Whatever, it was quiet. It was fine. It was.
Yeah.
So then, back to the cruise ship.
Our next stop was Mykonos.
Which is where
Which is one of the Greek islands.
a Jason Bourne movie
Oh yeah, Glenn.
ended.
Yeah.
I don't know which one it was, but anyway, you can check it out.
Yeah. So we were actually quite excited to get to one of the Greek islands because after we originally visited Greece in 2018, our next trip was supposed to be touring the Greek islands, and it didn't quite work out for us. So we missed that. So we were actually quite excited to kind of get to check one of them out.
Yep. Yeah, so Mykonos it's kind of your, what you would think of, or at least what I would think of as Greek, the white houses, the blue roofs, the beautiful oceans, the hillsides, and it's all rocky, and it's just quintessentially Greek.
They had windmills there.
Yep.
There was one spot along the
Don't
coast.
wave your hands, you'll shut it off.
Yeah, where they were lined up. So we checked that out. Apparently, it was the Venetians that actually put the windmills there, and they used to grind grain there. I can't imagine them growing grain on Mykonos because it's so hot and dry.
That's really odd.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it was.
I don't know, we might have to, maybe you can comment on it.
Yeah,
but it seems
maybe
kind of
there was-
odd. Maybe they hauled it there on the way to somewhere. I don't know, because there wasn't.
No, I don't think so.
It's
I
just
think
a big
they-
rock.
But the other surprise there, and I didn't know about this before, is the pelicans. Pelicans aren't native to that area, but there was these big pelicans. They were probably about this tall. Well, we saw one of them.
We saw one.
So I read a little bit about it afterwards, and I guess back in the 50s, one of the fishermen found a pelican. It must have got injured when it was migrating, and so he took it back and he nursed it back to health, and it became a resident of the island. Petros, I think his name was, they called him, and he was quite a celebrity. Everybody loved him, and they had to feed him because I guess if they're domesticated, they're kind of lazy, so they don't like to hunt, so people would just feed him. All the fishermen would give him food and stuff, and he was quite the celebrity.
I don't think.
He's not the original.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if this is the original from the 50s, that's one old bird.
But he did live about 30 years. I think somebody actually hit him. That's what they think maybe happened. But he was like 33 years old, they figured. One other interesting thing was that he flew once to that little island of Tinos, and they were kind of jealous because Mykonos had this pelican, so they actually trapped him and kept him. And it was the only court case in Greece over the custody of a bird.
Oh my gosh.
So they actually give it back to the original Mykonos island.
That's crazy.
Yeah, pretty funny.
Oh man.
So
Wow.
anyways, that's kind of they have celebrity status there. The pelicans walk over. We just were walking down the little narrow alleyways, and boom, there's this big pelican.
Oh, yeah, well,
and they're
that's-
pink.
All the people that are there and taking their
Yeah.
pictures, and
Yeah, the one little girl, I think the pelican's as tall as she was.
yeah, it was a big bird.
Yeah. There was a little church over on the one side, very pretty, very Greek Orthodox.
The next stop is Athens, and we've been to Athens. Well, we
It was
ended in Athens. In 2018, we ended in Athens, and we found a great guy to store our bike there out on the East Coast. And so we told him at that time, well, we'll be back in 8 months, and you know what happened a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
The years that weren't.
Yeah.
It was almost 4 years, but Athens has this. If you need motorcycle parts, they have like this section, and this is like downtown. You know where what's that thing up there? The Acropolis.
Yeah.
And it's kind of real close to that, and they have this. It's like motorcycle alley, all the shops, and
Lots of shops.
so we needed something. I don't remember what it was, but we went there looking for it.
Yeah.
So in Athens, when you get to I don't want to call it the port of Athens, but where the ship comes in, and then to get up
Piraeus, I think.
Piraeus,
Yeah.
and you want to get up to where the Acropolis is. Everybody's coming off the cruise ships, and they book their tours, and they get in the buses and all that. Well, we're familiar enough. We just found the subway, and their subway system, man, in Athens, takes you to anything and everything that you want to see.
Yeah, it worked well. Yeah.
And cheap.
We just hopped on that, and we knew the area. And we walked. There's a big promenade right around the Acropolis. We walked.
Yeah, you can walk around the outside. We didn't go into the Acropolis. We were in there before.
Yeah.
So we walked around the outside. We went down to Syntagma Square.
Yeah.
And what's the walkway between Syntagma Square and
There's
Acropolis? What's that called? It's where all the shops are.
Yeah.
I call them the junk stores because, but they have some neat stuff. I mean, we always buy those little, the eye of Greece or whatever it is. Those are pretty cool. So you pick up those and stuff for the grandkids.
Yeah, so it was nice. We really enjoyed Greece, so we enjoyed just spending just a few hours there and then headed back to the boat.
Yep.
In the dining room, we had a great table. We got put with some great people, and we were table.
Yeah, so when you're if you've ever been on a cruise ship and you're in the dining room, there's always that one loud table. Yeah, that was us this time.
Yeah, we had a great group of
couple from Australia.
Yeah.
2 ladies, a doctor and her friend from the U.S., us from Canada, and another couple from somewhere in the middle of the U.S. And he had a snowplow business.
Yeah.
So the Australians were fascinated by his snowplow business. They were looking at photos of the trucks and everything, and all the rest of us are fascinated by the kangaroos running around in the Australians' backyards.
Well, they were in their backyard. I said, well, we have deer in our backyard. And they're like, we have kangaroos.
We had like 8 deer today in our backyard, and they'd have like 8 kangaroos.
Yeah, so that was funny. We had a lot of fun. Fun with them.
We laughed all night long.
Yeah.
Next stop is Split, and we were in Split. So in 2018, we did the trip in 2018. We did a 4-month trip. It was an amazing trip, and we haven't done the video series on it. But one of our stops that we did was Split.
Split, yeah.
And
we love Split. It's in Croatia, right on the coast.
Oh yeah, Croatia is an amazing country.
So we were not sad to have to go back to Split. We really enjoyed that.
But Split's pretty cool because it has a Diocletian's Palace, and it's on the ocean front, and it's nice and it's been nice and warm, and it's got the real cafe culture going on.
Yeah. Diocletian was a Roman emperor, and he built this palace for his retirement, and it's huge. Like now the town is basically in it. Like all the little shops and stuff are inside of this. So it is a very unique kind of place.
Another one of these places where the guy that runs the church builds this massive thing.
It wasn't the church. He was the Roman emperor.
Oh, he's the emperor.
Yeah,
somebody in power.
In fact, he was very against the Christians. I had read anyways.
Did he die early from an unknown cause?
No, I don't think so. He actually was the only Roman emperor that actually retired. So he built this and he retired here, and he had enough, I guess, of trying to run all the...
Yeah, and there's a really cool hike there. You can hike up out of Split, up to the top of an. I think we'll double check this, but we have written here the Marjan Hill.
Yeah.
However you say that, but it's a radio tower that's up there, but it's a nice little park. It's an awesome walk up there.
Yeah, really nice.
Hell of a view.
Yeah, really nice.
And what do they have? Those 40-foot tall yucca plants up there?
Not yucca, they're aloe vera. Yeah,
Is that what they are?
they're
Got a
huge.
great big spire going up in them. And,
Yeah.
Supposedly, aren't they that when the spire goes up and they bloom, they die?
Yeah, and then a new one will start back. Yeah.
And don't touch there's a cute little thing that's some kind of a thistle.
A cactus, I think.
Yeah, and we knew don't touch it, and I'm like, ooh, did I touch it? So I touched it, and it puts these hair-like slivers into you.
A whole bunch of them.
And you cannot get them out, and they hurt like you know what. And I had those in my hand for days.
Yeah.
They hurt.
You did.
So don't touch them.
Yeah. We were supposed to go back into Venice for the end of the trip. The cruises there, I might have mentioned before, you can get on or off at any of the ports. Kind of felt bad because we were not able to come back into the port of Venice, and
we had to go to Trieste. It's like a 2-hour bus ride into Venice. So all the people that got on in these other ports, to see Venice, because that would be the big highlight of the whole cruise, and
totally missed Venice because there wasn't enough time.
Our bus driver, for whatever reason, didn't take the freeway. He took the slow road, and I think we were close to 3 hours getting back, and people were missing their flights. And in fact, one of the couples that we were with missed their flight or at our table. And
it was unfortunate.
So it didn't affect us because we're on the bike and we got off the ship or got on the bus and walked 300 feet over to the parking lot, and Pepe was still there, and
we had
loaded him up.
We had kept checking on Pepe when we could get Wi-Fi.
Yeah, with an air tag.
We had an air tag on him, so at least we knew he was still there.
Or the air tag was there, one of the two. But and then we headed out, and then in the next episode, you'll see why, if you're gonna go around Europe, you should probably take a minute, figure out when the public holidays are, so that you don't attempt to ride your motorcycle into a massively popular resort-style town that only has one little access point
through a drawbridge
for you and the cars and thousands of people.
Yeah, we hit an Italian holiday, and we also hit, I didn't know at the time when I booked, a very popular place where everybody from Milan likes
I seriously don't know how you got us a place in there.
I don't know.
All things considered, how popular it was, and we booked last minute.
I don't know. Anyways, that will be the next
You will
episode.
see that in next episode.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
But